At this time, we will move on to our keynote speaker, Mr. Ted Fetting. Ted is originally from the Greenwood area. Apparently grew up on a farm. Ted served in the United States Army from 1967 to 1969. He received 3 Purple Hearts. While serving with the 90th Infantry. One of the reasons we asked Ted to be our keynote speaker today was because he's had a kind of varied career in veterans activities around the state, not only being a veteran. He was the executive assistant with the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs from 1971 to 1974. And I'm sure what that meant is that you did all the work and your boss took all the credit when you were there. But anyway, he did his share too, I'm sure, just to be fair. He was the first Vietnam veteran appointed to the Board of Veterans Affairs. He served under John Moses as secretary. He supervised the WISVET outreach program, one of the first of its kind in the United States. He was Milwaukee County Veteran Service Officer from 1989 to 2003. Of course, people know that's the largest county in Wisconsin. I think usually we call it the state of Milwaukee down there. It's so big. He helped spearhead many successes with the Vietnam Advisory Council, UW River Falls Vets Club, Wisconsin Association of Concerned Veterans Associations, and the National Association of Concerned Veterans Organizations. Ted was one of the first 10 founding original members of the Board of Directors of the High Ground Veterans Park in Dalesville. Others include Bob Clam, Al Jenkins, Steve Petrowski, Don Quicker, Howard Sherpy, and Dave Zine. At any rate, so we welcome here today to speak to us and give us his total attention for the next 35 minutes, right? Okay, welcome aboard.
Yes, thank you. I have a gift in the back I was going to present to my old roommate, Dave Zine here, but instead I'll give it to him after a while. Another roommate of mine from college, actually, in Vietnam artillery vet, Jim Bear from Elmwood is here, came over today, which is wonderful. I haven't seen him since we were part of the group that built the rodeo club up and built the arena at River Falls. So I haven't seen Jim now since we had a rodeo reunion about, I don't know what that was, quite the time ago, probably 5-6 years ago. No, at least. What I did, I kind of spliced together for a couple of others. I kind of spliced together some other remarks that I made over time for the same reason in different cases. One of them was the waterfront. We had 500 or 600 people there and had just a wonderful ceremony back. You're probably talking 10 years ago now. But so anyway, part of this I gave there, but it seemed the flow would make sense here. Back and forth again. Each generation can look back on its short time in history and point to those experiences that shaped their lives. Historians, politicians, ministers are not needed to tell us what events have universal meaning. You and I can say with unequivocal certainty, if it hadn't been for that, this or that event, our lives would have been far different. Men and women of my generation knew that November 22nd, 1963 would be a day that would live in their memory until they died. December 7th, 1941 is another day that has lived in infamy for our father and mother's generation and will pass into history only when they are gone. On the day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, there existed a deep sense of public and personal tragedy, a powerful feeling of disruption and instability, all shrouded in mystery. Together, people of all ages, all colors, all creeds, moaned and wept. We were united by the profound sense that something sacred had been taken from us. It wasn't just a man or a president or a global figure. We lost something more precious. We all thought that this cannot be happening to us, but it did. A single event on a single day should not transcend time, but it can. A single moment can lodge in our hearts forever. A minute can last a lifetime. A lifetime can be encapsulated in a minute. We are human. That is what happens to us because we are human. Yet we go on. Unless we can assimilate that event or events back into our lives, the day that occurred will forever stand apart from the rest of our days. For many people in this audience and many people in this country and around the world, April 30th, 1975 represents such a day. It marked the ignominious ending to the longest period of conflict in the nation's history. It also marked the beginning of a long period of resettlement and healing for people returning to and coming to this country. So troubling was the war for so many that the healing has been painfully slow and difficult. Today here in Eau Claire, we come together not to celebrate, but to remember and recognize that war has a powerful effect on all that dare step in its path. It touches lives and takes lives. Whether we are white, Hispanic, Native American, Oriental, or Black Americans, whether we are South Vietnamese, Hmong, Laotians, Australians, Thais, or Canadians, or North Vietnamese. Our lives have been forever shaped and affected by our experiences in that tiny country halfway around the world. That we are gathered here today means that we are among the lucky ones who survived and have persisted. As we all know, over 58,000 of our armed forces died in that war. 300,000 were wounded. The number of Vietnamese dead and wounded is said to exceed several million. The numbers are staggering. The events still perplexing. Yet we go on, because that is what we do and who we are. We are soldiers and sailors, friends and family, and people who know that although Saigon fell, we did not fall or fail. We tried, each of us in our own way, so we go on. Though memories can be heavy, the confusion great, and the sorrow overwhelming, we go on. That's our calling, that's our legacy. As we look at the high ground and a tribute at Cadat in the years ahead and think of the memories that will be rekindled, we'll appreciate that the capacity man has to remember is at once a terrible and wonderful gift. Terrible because some of us are forced to live with memories nearly too painful to bear. Wonderful because memory and reflection give us the capacity to learn from the past and to grow in wisdom. We alone among living things on this planet comprehend the sweep of history. We can see, hopefully, more clearly in retrospect, the role specific events played in the design of our present, and through the understanding, we can at least imagine what the future holds. We can lament and attempt to correct our mistakes, and we can recognize what was good and worthy of preservation or repetition, and we can honor those in our past who were deserving of our gratitude and praise, but did not receive it in their amount of time. We can, as Shakespeare said in Sonnet 30, drawn an eye unused to flow for precious friends seated in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and only expense of many a vanished sight. We can seek to do all I've mentioned, and the high ground and the tribute, and there's all kinds of memorials that you well know that are still being built and being finished, and some actually being initiated. Fellow Vietnam veterans will make this remembering. Yes, the terrible as well as the wonderful, remembering all the more possible and likely. But as we honor the dead and remember them, and as we serve the living and remember what they did, it is my fervent hope that we will remember that in all our wars, our fighting men and women were young and bore a disproportionate measure of responsibility for the decisions made by leaders of our great nation. Therefore, our actions must also serve to remind those in positions of leadership to exercise power with wisdom and restraint. Thank you for being here today to help remember and give thanks to the tribute of all those who have given so much. Thank you.
Ken, I greatly appreciate it. It made me think a little bit about those moments in life too. You don't think about that all that much, but when I think back about it, there are things that you remember forever, all the time. Sometimes every day.